Merry Christmas, Raider Nation. Welcome to the house that Hammer built by the nation, for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. I am your host. I am the tribal chief of Raider Nation. I go by the name of Hammer. Hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful, Merry Christmas wherever you guys are at. Before we go into it, y'all know the routine. Those new in here, let me teach you real quick. Rake them thumbs, hammer them subs, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. Yes, a very impromptu live, but we are going on a road trip right now, so I thought I would just jump on. I know it's probably going to be difficult to get anybody to pull up in here. Normally, it's already difficult to go live when we are in the car. But I thought I would come on so we could talk about a couple of things as it pertains to this upcoming matchup and some other things with the Raiders as well. I see people are pulling up. Good morning. Oh, God. It's afternoon on the West Coast. It is afternoon, late afternoon on the East Coast. Merry Christmas to everybody that's pulling on up right now. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. But let's get right into it. As you guys know, yesterday, it was announced that Brock Bowers, our star tight end, and safety Jeremy Chin were both placed on IR. They are out the remainder of the season. Now, a lot of speculation has gone around around Raider Nation and around the Twitter sphere over the last 24 hours that this seems to be a tank move. Now, as a counter, the Giants also placed several of their players on IR as well. Are they tanking for that number one overall pick? Sunday morning, former Dolphins and Jets GM Mike Tannenbaum on ESPN stated that he believes that the New York Football Giants should in fact trade Jackson Dart for the services of Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner, in the upcoming 2026 NFL Draft. Now, Louis Riddick was actually a guest on DNR on ESPN Radio New York. I believe it was yesterday. I was listening to him, to his interview, and I had nothing but great things to say. It still blows my mind that he is not a GM in the league. Now, he pretty much said that that would not be the best move for the Giants. And look, the Giants are going to be in the middle of a head coaching search, maybe just as well as us this coming off season. But who's to say that Jackson Dart isn't the guy for that next head coach? Or does that head coach think that maybe Jackson Dart is not his guy and decide that they want to make that move and trade Dart for another one of these quarterbacks like Fernando Mendoza? There is another name to keep an eye on going into the next couple of weeks, actually, because collegiate players have until, if I remember correctly, January 15th to declare for the draft. Now, there is another quarterback. I don't want to call him a dark horse, but if he does in fact declare for the draft, he could be the top overall prospect. He could be the number one quarterback. Popo coming through. He could be the number one overall prospect going into this draft class. Now, this quarterback draft class right now, and I've talked about this a couple of times, is really not one to really drop your jaw over. But quarterback Dante Moore out of Oregon is a guy that people are talking about right now, that if he in fact declares for this draft, he will be the number one prospect. He will be the number one ranked quarterback going into this draft. So again, January 15th is a very incredible, important date to keep an eye out on. We should see what happens. I'm seeing a bunch of you guys coming on in right now, and salute to everybody. Merry Christmas to each and every single one of y'all in the nation. Much love to each and every single one of y'all. Going into this matchup, I do still want to try to get this live maybe Saturday. I do have to make a phone call to see about getting a special guest for this matchup preview. But again, thinking about all these things that have transpired in the last 24 hours, the comments made by Mike Tannenbaum as well, it's like, are you guys in right now for Fernando Mendoza? Or is there somebody else that you're looking at if we, in fact, end up with the number one overall pick? We will be live on Sunday. No, I'm not going anywhere. We will be live on Sunday, myself and Graf, live play-by-play of the Giants-Raiders game. It's already scheduled. We're good to go for that. I'm just thinking about this over the last probably almost 24 hours, especially after hearing Louis Riddick on ESPN Radio New York and his comments about everything. It's just 2 games left. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to think about, and ultimately see what happens. Like this whole thing with the Giants more or less countering with putting a couple of their players on IR as well. Like, are they in for the tank? Like, and you guys know I hate that word. Like, I hate tanking. I hate rebuilding. Those are like the most atrocious words you can use in professional sports. But look, we sit there now at 2-13 with these 2 games remaining. The Chiefs lost both of their quarterbacks for the year. Patrick Mahomes almost 2 weeks ago. Gardner Minshew, who apparently it's not a torn ACL, but he will be out the rest of the season as well. And the Chiefs actually made some moves as well, placing a couple of their players. And if I remember correctly, I think Rashee Rice is one of them. They placed a couple of their players on IR as well. Are they trying to ruin it for us? Who's to say? I don't know. I'd rather wait for 2027. Well, we do have an idea of one quarterback who could be coming out in 2027. Deadline for collegiate players to declare for the draft. I think it paused for a second, so you guys might have lost me for a second, but it is what it is. But Moore's a guy that you want to keep an eye out for right now to see if he in fact declares. Because if he does, I'll tell you right now, it definitely. I'm on the George Washington Bridge, so it's probably going to go in and out for a minute. Driving on Christmas Day, which was the one thing I was dreading doing. Going to see the family. I really haven't had celebrated Christmas with them in years, and they have no idea that I'm coming out to see them. So it's actually a good thing right now. But salute to everybody in here. Appreciate the 36 in here, but there's a problem here. We got 36 of you in here and only 13 likes. Get those likes up, y'all. Everybody should tap that like button. It doesn't cost you a thing. And hit the subscribe button if you're new here as well. I think last time I checked, we're between 7 and 9 away from 10,700. Now we got 40 in here with 13 likes. Hit those likes, y'all. Break them thumbs. Y'all know what we do over here. Like, we're gonna have some fun with this. We had some fun with it over the weekend with the live that we did. I do want to put some things to interact with you guys more during the game, so we will have some polls up for you guys that I definitely want you guys to participate in. I'm pretty sure I have the questions lined up. I'm not gonna ask them right now, but yeah, this traffic is crazy. Do I take the Hudson? Absolutely not. I could have took that way though. Whatever. Merry Christmas. I really don't think there's much else to say. Like, if I was in the office right now, we probably would have made it a little bit better. Like I said, I know when I do these lives from the car that it doesn't hit the same, and it's a fact that it doesn't hit the same. Harlem River, Harlem River, Harlem River, Harlem River. I'm trying to remember how I get back from the Harlem River. You know what? Fuck it, I'll go that way. Actually, no, we will not, because it's probably going to make it even. Actually, yeah, we could do that and go through Queens. It's been a long, I haven't driven to New York in months, so I'm actually, it sounds sad that I'm, like, lost. No, I don't have the GPS on, don't really need it, but it's been a long time since I've driven out to New York, so I'm trying to figure out the best way, especially, like, I did not expect to see people, like, this many people anyways on the road right now, but I think I got this. Let's see. I mean, team number 1, but if we win, I'll be okay as long as Pete is not here. And you know what? I think I mentioned this on, I was on Instagram for a little bit. I think Joe Morley was saying that, like, the players are wanting him back because they're tired of the revolving door. Now, I said that. I had said my piece on that quite some time ago, and people looking at me like I'm crazy because of what this season has been. But it's like, yeah, as a player, especially if you've been there for years, especially if you've been there for like the last 4 or 5 years, do you really want to continue to see this revolving door and go in and out with a head coach every single year? And like I said this as it pertained to Aiden O'Connell, and look, I don't look at Aiden O'Connell being the face of the franchise, but like, when you look at a quarterback that has a different offensive coordinator every single year, learning a new system every single year. Like, that's not fucking good. That's not good at all. Like, at this point, I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, as a player, if I was in this situation right now, and I've been with the organization for years, no, I personally wouldn't want to experience another new face in the building, but we have to do what's best, right? At the same time, there are reports out there that Tom Brady is going to be a hell of a lot more hands-on than he has been so far as a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, that would be great as well. I don't know what's going to happen. I've been on the soapbox saying, like, yeah, it's about that time. Like, I told you guys, and a lot of people have co-signed on this after the first 4 weeks. You guys know, I don't like doing predictions or record predictions before the start of the season because you really don't see shit until the first 4 games of the season. And I told you guys, I'm like, after week 4, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a 2-15 team. And a lot of people are like, holy fuck, like, within the last few weeks, he said this months ago, he was right, da-da-da-da-da. Cool. Am I happy to be right about that? No, not necessarily, but the product on the field fucking said it all. You waited, what, between 9 and 11 weeks to get rid of Chip Kelly. And realistically, Chip Kelly was more the sacrificial lamb because in all reality, Brandon Carroll was a problem in terms of that offensive line. Now, that offensive line this past week didn't do a bad job. The offense competed tremendously throughout the game. The defense looked pretty damn solid too. But one good week doesn't make up for the other games that were played, the other poor performances. Majority of the losses, giving up 30 or more points. Giving up 40 in 2 of those losses. Like, make it make sense. I'm sorry, guys. I got a cab in front of me driving slow as hell, and I can't move because I got cars to the left of me trying to like that to move into. Skirt. This is why I hate cab drivers. This is why I hate driving in New York. But it's Christmas, so I have to be nice. I can't turn the violence switch on. Players need to know as well. Pete's almost 80. He's 74. All right, come on. He's 74. I think if I remember correctly, yeah, he's a year older than my dad. I'll tell you right now, my dad doesn't look his age. My dad definitely has that energy, but I don't know. I digress. Mark Davis should have known if he hired Pete. I'm trying to read this. This is probably the worst thing I could be doing. But that's the thing. Like, he was removed. I'm looking at it from this standpoint. I'm pretty sure I've said this before. Like, he was out of the league for only a year, right? It's not like the game passed him by in the span of that year. But my thing is right now, I look at it like this. Pete brought in people that he was familiar with, right? Pete also brought in players that he had previous relationships with. We have seen this a couple of times in recent years under head coaches. The other thing is, like we talked about, and this is not the first time that we have heard this, the change of the culture of the organization. Now, Daniels was supposed to be a change of the culture, but that was the Patriot way, and that shit definitely did not work. AP was somewhat of a culture change, but zero experience, and became the head coach based off of, in reality, what the fans wanted. We had other candidates that we wanted, including Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson pretty much turned it down and wasted his said this countless times because we didn't have a quarterback. Now look at what Ben Johnson is doing with the Chicago Bears in his rookie year as a head coach. What other coaches are out there for us to look at? You know, it's funny. I had a conversation with somebody about Kubiak, and people are kind of like, it's kind of a hard pass. A lot of you have mentioned Chris Shula. curious to see what other names could be thrown around in the event that Pete Carroll is in fact gone from the Raiders. Like I said before, like Joe Morley is claiming that the players kind of want him back, and I'm talking about Pete Carroll, so it's not this continuing revolving door, but really, I don't know. Do not know at this point in time. I really don't. Should Lamar Jackson be a trade option? Look, apparently Joe Burrow's a trade option. Joe Burrow wants out of city. There was a report out there that apparently in 2020, if I remember correctly, that the Miami Dolphins offered 3 first-round picks for Joe Burrow, and the Bengals said no. Now, we know the Bengals front office is a complete shit show. I was hearing in terms of their training facility, that shit is under a highway. And I'm just like, yeah, if I'm Joe Burrow, I want the fuck out of there too. Like, so the way would I sign up for Joe Burrow in Vegas? How much is it going to cost us? Is he truly the answer for this organization? Who is our head coach going to be? What is our what is the offense's vision going to be? Things to think about. Things that a lot of people don't think about. I don't know why this alarm is going off. Sorry guys, sun is hitting me now because we are going, I think I am going somewhat west, and I'm about to go over another bridge. I'm going over the RFK in Queens. See, we got a new member. I appreciate you, Can't Get Right. Fernando Mendoza, run it. Okay. But I don't know if you just came in. I don't know if you just came in. We were talking about it before. That there is a name to think about, and that's Moore, the quarterback out of Oregon. Now, there's reports out there. There's a chance he might declare for the draft. If he does, he is going to be the number 1 overall prospect, the number 1 quarterback in this draft class. Are you going Moore, or are you going Mendoza? What route are you going here? Dante Moore. Are you going, like, and I'm asking you guys in the chat, obviously I can't put a poll up right now, but are you going Dante Moore, or are you going Fernando Mendoza if in fact Dante Moore declares for the draft? What route are you going? And just put it in the chat, guys. "48 degrees in the greatest city in the world. Love it. Fernando Mendoza all day." Okay. All right. Undecided. Need to see more of both. Hey, they got their bowl games, right? But again, if Dante Moore does in fact declare for this draft, that's going to be a huge move, because realistically, in terms of this quarterback draft class, there ain't that many to pick from. In terms of the quarterbacks in this draft class, there ain't many to choose from. So it's like Dante Moore will fucking open that shit up. No Diddy if necessary. Like, and the other thing is, now there's also little things being said out here that the Jets could potentially try to find a way to move up and get their quarterback. They, like, if the New York Football Giants do end up with the number 1 overall pick, that the Jets could find a way to trade up with them with all the draft capital they just recently got, especially with the trades that they made with the Colts. They could move up to that number 1 spot for their quarterback of the future as well, because clearly Tyrod Taylor is not it for them in the same building that they share with the New York Football Giants. So we shall see. Salute to everybody in here. Honestly, I think I'm going to run this back. I'm trying to get somebody on for a matchup preview on Sunday. I'm sorry, not Sunday, on Saturday, excuse me. I'm going to see if I can get this person on. I'm actually waiting to get a response from them, but I think I talked about a lot. And like I said, I know being live on here is not the same as being in the office and doing what we do. So, I think I should just, what does Wasted say? I think it's time to bring the train into the station. Merry Christmas to each and every single one of you guys again. I'm probably going to delete this live. We'll see if people watch it afterwards, and if people are watching it, then I'll keep it up. But if not, I'll probably just delete it. But on your way out, if you haven't already, break them thumbs, which means hit that like button over here. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing. Smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions in the house at Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID or not, you should always remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. And of course, as always, on my New York, I can't do the sound, but I'll try to. Bing bong. Peace, love, and positivity. As always, stay committed to excellence. And when I leave, come together like butt cheeks. I love you guys. Again, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the rest of your day. We outro.